Loading, loading. And we're good. We're on.
Hi.
Good evening. Uh,
Good evening.
so, Clementine, I know you just told me a little bit, but why don't you tell us about your week? How's your week going?
It's been busy, you know. We started again, university, classes. And I think this week is the second week, right? The full second week. And students, they're still like really, really lost. We still have a lot of students asking us about like a lot of things that we figured they should already know because if done it, at least the students I have, it's not their first semester in university, but they have a lot of questions with the website, using Canvas, the assignments. They're like, can you extend this assignment, can you do this? And like they have a lot of questions, plus like a lot of other students outside that suddenly they see you as a professor, so you might know where their class is, which is on the other side of campus, and they work in the music major, right? So of course, as a physics professor, you would know, right, where to go. So it's a little bit of a messy kind of, weird kind of thing, but it's always like that, with the beginning of a semester. It's always very chaotic. There's always a lot of people, and suddenly, after like 3 weeks, everybody's like gone or so, right?
Yeah.
And it settles down, but it's gonna be like a little bit more. How was your week?
It's really funny how opposite ends of the spectrum we're at. So, for context, Clementine works at a college, and
Yeah.
I work in an elementary school. And at the elementary school, they're so cute. They're so good. We have some pre-K kids who have never set foot in a school before, and all of a sudden they're like, "Whoa!" They're like wide-eyed. They don't know what's going on. They're just like doing their best, and it's very cute. Some tears, but also some good things too. Um, yeah. So, what are you reading today, Clementine?
So I am gonna continue on this book that I put in the kind of back burner a little bit at some point because I,
I've
I
never
fell
heard of
into
this
a
book. You said
reread
just
of House in the
inhabit.
Cerulean Sea before.
Mhm.
But this is a indie self-published, romantasy called Quicksilver by, I don't know if you see the
Yeah,
author,
I haven't
Kelly
heard
Hart.
of it.
It's very interesting so far. It's very strange to me, but kind of, I'm going for it. So we follow so far. I'm like 100 pages in of like a 600-page novel. So we follow Ceres, who is a human. So she's living in the slums of this like kind of very arid kind of place that has like just a lot of desert, to be honest. And they have this like queen that seems to be a human, but she's immortal. She's been there for like 1,000 years and whatever there, that has been oppressing the slums where she lives in. For example, like they heavily like ration the water, so where she lives in the slums they have 6 ounces of water per day,
Wow.
and the water also is not even filtered in any way, shape, or form. So essentially all the people who want to live really in the slums and not die out of horrific diseases because of the water re- have to become thieves, right? Essentially. And they end up, like being in various problems because of it. So we start with Ceres, who ends up stealing some gold band out of a guard that works for the queen, and she moves away scot free, except that she puts it in her satchel, and her brother, who's very curious, goes into the satchel and tries to, like sell it for money to a person who basically sells him for the queen. And she gets into this situation. They finally, of course, she wants to save her brother against it, and she ends up nearly dying by the queen, who tells the captain of the guard to torture her, and she's nearly dying and says like, "Fuck it, I'm just going to shove it. I'm just going to like." Take this sword that is somehow in this hallway, like very strange looking, embedded in stone. She manages to pull it out, but it's a fey portal. And so she has apparently this like very interesting like silvery magic, so she can control silver in some ways, which is really strange for her because magic is something that is not existing in her world. And so she's supported by this character that she believes is deaf because she's basically dying at that point, and she's transported by this Fey man that you see here on the cover, and that's what happens. So I'm just at the point that she arrives inside, and I think that's enough to say the plot. You don't want to say too much more. But she's very lost, like we are, which is kind of interesting way to do. And also now we're in this kind of more icy kind of setting, which is kind of nice as we have a return of the heat wave here, I guess. But anyway.
Yeah, very fun. And if there's anyone watching, if you want to tell us what you're going to read or work on or do during our sprints tonight, you can do that too. I just started reading. I finished Daydreamer by Hannah, the author of Hannah Grace, maybe the author of Icebreaker. I finished that yesterday. So today I've been working on. Oh no. My story graph is down right now. Tragic. I've been working on A Second Chance, which is the third book in like a time travel series, which I'm really enjoying. So that would be my backup. But what I'm going to do is I think open one of these. And if I can get the audio, I'll read it. And if I can't get the audio, then I'll read my time travel one and I'll put myself on a wait list for the audio. And Michelle's watching and she's going to read A Very Virginia Christmas, which I feel like I knew. Atlas would like to say, oh, Atlas, come here. Come say hi to Miss Eddie. I wasn't picking you up so you could get down.
Okay. So if people are
first watchers, say hi.
But Atlas is Angela's dog.
Yes. Yes. I think it's just Michelle right now. Come here, Pep. Come here. No, he's very adamant. He wants to sit on the floor. He's like, I'm good. I'm on the floor, which is fine.
So for context, those books, I went actually to Angela's place. Mm-hmm. I didn't break into her place, right? I mean, she invited me in, and she told me, look at my TBR bookshelves at the books to read, and just, choose a few of them and wrap them up, and then put all the others face to the other side, so that we don't see the spine.
Backwards so that I couldn't see any of the titles. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I have no idea what these 7 books are. I thought when I was first looking at it, like just looking at all of them on my shelf,
yes,
I thought I tried not to think about them too much. I'm going to let myself think about them now. Okay. I thought this one might be The Lies of Locke Lamora. Because that book is smaller, slightly smaller than some of my others. It's about this thick. It does not feel like The Lies of Locke Lamora now. So don't say anything.
I literally don't know because it's too far away and I don't remember in which order they were.
Well, don't tell me if it's one of them or not. But so I think this one might. I don't know. That's still my best guess, but I'm not really solid on that. And then the rest of them, that's the smallest one. The rest of them are all approximately the same size. Some of them are thicker or thinner. This one's a paperback. I have no idea what it is. No clue. I don't even have a guess. I'm like all of a sudden just like, it can't be any of the books on my shelf. None of my books look or feel like this. But also I know that that's not true. So I have no idea what this one is. No clue at all. This one's a hardcover. Again, I'm like, what hardcover would Clementine pick? None of them. Why would anyone pick a hardcover book from my shelf? I don't know. And so like, I have no clue. And I know it sounds like I'm joking, but I really just have no idea what these are. This one feels a little bit like the cover is a little bit different. It honestly feels like the cover was like a little bit slanted or something. I don't know if that's how it was wrapped or if it's just that like the book itself is like a used book or something. I don't know. So I don't know. I guess that's kind of a clue, but no clue. Mm-hmm. No idea. This one's thinner, so that's nice. Yeah. It's like smaller, and I like smaller books. Sorry.
How do you want to choose?
I don't know. I think this one might be like Malice or something because it's bigger. You also might have picked the blade itself from my shelf. I think this one might be the blade itself. So it's like, do I want a big book? Not really. These ones seem kind of scary to me right now. And I don't want to read The Lies of Locke Lamora. I forgot to tell you that I started it like, I don't think this one isn't it. But I started The Lies of Locke Lamora like maybe a month ago. And I made it like a third of the way in, maybe less than a third, maybe 25% in. And then I just like got lost and I stopped. I still want to go back to it, but that's the second time that's happened to me. So I think if I were picking, I would pick this one, my thin one, my favorite one to start with. Unless anyone has a contrary opinion. Michelle, I'll weight your opinion pretty highly if you have something that you would really like for me to read. Clementine, do you have any preferences?
No, I mean, I wrapped all of them for a reason. I forgot, by the way, half of the ones that I chose right now. Which is
Michelle wants us to let Atlas choose, which I can try to do. Let's grab. I'm really curious as to what this hardcover is, and then I've got this thin one. So what I can do is like put them in front of Atlas and see which one he touches with his nose. Atlas, do you want one? Is one interesting to you? He's like, no, I'm licking my paw. One is not interesting. Which one? That one? He wants the hardcover. He very distinctly touched it with his nose. Okay, you betrayed me. I wanted the short one. What is this madness? Oh, what is it? I know what it is. All I needed was a little bit of the cover.
You were saying you had no idea which hardcover I would ever choose.
I know, and now I feel stupid. See, this is why we are doing this though, because you're getting me to read things that I should have read a very long time ago. I bought this one like relatively close to when it came out, and I still have not read it. Okay.
What is it?
It is A Taste of Golden Iron. How beautiful.
Okay, so it is a book that I also have had on my shelves for 2 years that I believe I will love, and I still haven't read.
Yeah. I think I bought this during the same shopping trip that I bought A Strange and Stubborn Endurance, and that book was great. So I should read this book because it's got like good juju around it, and I will love it. I started it once and then I stopped. Not for any reason. I started like halfway through the first chapter. I just like tried it and then like didn't make it through. But I don't think it's actually anything wrong with it. I got it from Snug Books. Everyone go support Snug Books. But
if you're in Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find it on my reading app.
Oh, I know that this one, if you have an Audible subscription, the audio is for free.
Oh no, that might mean that it's not anywhere else.
Yeah, because that's how I have it actually downloaded, because I thought that I would read it this month and I haven't yet. So,
gotcha. Gold. Yeah, I think. Oh, it doesn't say that it's.
No, it's not. It's not a special Audible kind of book. It's available somewhere else. It's just free on Audible Plus. You know, the kind of.
Yeah, gotcha. Which means I'll probably end up just subscribing back to Audible for a month to do it, even though I'd prefer not to. All right, how long do we want to read for our first round?
I don't know. You can choose. I don't have any idea.
You tend to like longer sprints. Oh, it's on Hoopla.
Oh.
It's on Hoopla, everybody. So you can access A Taste of Golden Iron without an Audible subscription. Jolly bee. Okay, cool. So want to just do 30 minutes for the first one? Nice even number.
That works.
Okay, cool. So Michelle, it's not a cat just for you. It's always a cat, but we are happy you're here. Okay, set times. Okay, and everyone, I will warn you that I am sharing my sound. So that means in 30 minutes, this cat is going to meow and it will scare me.
And me
Um,
too.
Yep, it will startle me. You will see it. I'm going to mute myself while this is happening. It does look like Poe. Michelle, I agree with you. I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to disappear for a second as I grab my crochet supplies, and then I'll be back.
See you in 30 minutes.
It scared me again. Was it
It
always
did not, but that's only because I saw it like 14 seconds before it came off. So,
nice? Very nice. So,
Mhm.
how was the progress?
I read 20 pages or so, I think. I'm using my Kindle because it's on Kindle Unlimited. Forgot to mention. So I'm like 120 pages into Quicksilver now. About.
Nice. Yeah, I made it 4% of the way into A Taste of Golden Iron. And if anyone else was reading, tell us how far you got in your book and what you're reading. So I made some progress, and I am liking it because we knew I was going to like it. We knew it was going to be good, and it's very good. Now that I'm actually like focused on it, I think last time I wasn't able to focus on it, which is why I didn't
Mm.
continue reading it. But now that I'm focused on it, it's great. I'm having a great time. It's very political. I should put the name
Mhm.
in my name here, so that I can. We don't have any questions, but
Yeah.
and I successfully in crochet news. Um, I weaved in all my ends and finished this, which is it's like a pouch to hold all of my crochet hooks. So it opens up, and then it has room for all of my crochet hooks inside.
Ooh.
It folds back up, and I need to buy a button so that it'll button here. I don't have one that's big enough, so that's on the to-do list. And now I'm making a cord to go in a drawstring bag that I crocheted like 2 months ago, and I still haven't made a cord. Michelle read 12 pages, which is 1.5 stories. Impressive. I find it difficult to read short stories and get invested in them. So, like,
Same.
A plus. Good for you. And we've got someone new join the sprint slate. I read 15 pages of A Murder is Announced by Agatha Christie. I love Agatha Christie. Huge fan. So, yeah. Are you enjoying it? I'm reading all of the Agatha Christie's in order of publication because when there are so many options, I need something to, you know, to put me on a path. So the last one I read was Three Act Tragedy, which I liked. I thought it was fine. I don't think I could even tell you what the plot was now. It like right out of my brain. But yeah. Clementine, how is your blanket going?
Uh, well, I mean, I haven't done it for a while because I've been listening to audiobooks only in the car for the
Mm,
past couple times. So I think I'm 40 rows behind because I'm
oh
doing
no.
blankets for the whole year, and each row is like a book I read. So I'm like 40 rows in, I think. And I've read, nearly 90 books. So I'm actually more than 40 rows behind now. Uh,
We desperately need a crafternoon. We need a
yeah,
Clementine
we need an afternoon where we do some crafts and stuff. Or I need to actually read books that have audiobooks when I'm at home. Because like this one doesn't have an audiobook yet. I think it's coming out soon. Not
Gotcha.
yet. And then I have some other options, but I do need to have my full attention to them, so I need to also read them physically at the same time as audio, because otherwise.
Well, if you want to do a mystery book thing where I just wrap books that have audiobooks for them, let me know. And it might turn out well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do have, but like, I think the ones that I can read only via audio have a long wait in terms of audiobooks.
Oh no.
So.
That's sad. Yeah. Cool. How are you feeling? Are you feeling ready to jump into sprints right away again? Or do you want to like talk about some books coming up that we want to read? You want a little bit more chatter? How are you feeling, Clementine?
I think we could talk also because I think it's the end of the month, so maybe we can talk
Mhm.
for if people have already plans for the next month and what they want to read.
Or if
Uh,
you have a favorite book from last month, I think that would be fun too.
oh
A
yeah,
favorite book from August?
we can start with a favorite book from August. Mine is just here, and I think Michelle knows which one is.
Yeah, you talk about it because you have a fun story to go along with that one.
Yeah, yeah, no. So with Michelle actually, who's in the chat, and Angela too, we actually went to the National Book Festival last Sunday in Washington, and we actually waited
Washington.
like 3 hours in line, and I got my book signed by Christopher Paolini, and I was just so happy to see him in person for the first time. But also, I was so happy to actually finally get the kick to actually read this book because while I love the series, I pre-ordered this book and I haven't read it. It's been out for nearly a year. I still haven't read it, right? Because I loved it, but I was also very happy to be back in the world, but also scared of what it was going to be. I don't know why I would have been scared about this. Michelle's right. It's a great book. It is more of a, I would say, still a prequel to like a new kind of mystery and a new big plot that's coming up. But I really enjoyed the fact that for once, because like the rest of this series with Aragon, being the first,
Oh,
is really focused on Aragon himself. And it's really the first one where we have a new POV and we are in Murtag's point of view. So I really enjoyed it. But otherwise, I mean, I went into a reread of The House in the Cerulean Sea. So that one is an all time favorite book for me. And I'm so excited that in September the sequel's coming out. So yay.
yeah, yeah. I think that my favorite from last month, I actually, I didn't read very many books last month. Like, like, like even in like normal booktube terms, I did not read very many. I only read 8 books last month. I was feeling just like very overwhelmed. I was very slumpy. That is a very low number for me, which is fine. One book that I thought was notable and my highest rated from last month was The Briar Club by Kate Quinn. I really love the Rose Code. She does a lot of like historical fiction focused around like the lives of women. And so the Rose Code was fabulous. Still my favorite one from her so far. But the Briar Club was really good. There are these chapters from different women's perspective. They all live in this house together. It's like a boarding house. And so each woman gets her own chapter with a little bit of her background. And then the interstitials between the chapters are from the perspective of the house itself. So there has been a murder in the house that you find out in the first chapter. This murder has happened. And then throughout the book, you get background of each of the like female characters, and then you also get these little snips from the house in like the present day, like in the most recent timeline.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's really interestingly set up. I listened to the audio and I really liked the audio. I thought the narrator did a great job. So yeah, highly recommend. And it one thing I like about Kate Quinn, she writes about like fairly depressing times and fairly depressing topics, but all of her books are hopeful. At least the ones that I guess I've only read 2. I've just read The Rose Code and The Briar Club, but both of them have been very hopeful. And I appreciate that. I like a hopeful book personally.
So in the chat, if you wanted also to pop out and tell us about what's your favorite book that you've read this month, or a recent uh, you know
A
favorite
recent
book.
recommendation. Yeah.
Mhm.
Any so Clementine, what's your I know you had also started to think about TBRs. Do you have a book that you're really looking forward to in September?
Well, there's such a pile of books that I want to read. There's also like I do have a book that I need to read that I'm reading with a friend online. So it's the Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields,
Yeah.
Shields.
I don't remember.
Um,
I've heard good things though.
I think it's a debut novel, but it's supposedly a cozy fantasy with some romance. So yeah. but I still have to figure out the details because I'm joining the magical readathon, and the prompts are difficult to fail.
Oh no.
But we can discuss in the next sprint. Michelle
Yes.
said
Well, I
for
haven't even looked at them. So I don't know if you have the prompts like as a PDF or something, but maybe I can look at them when we next chat and give any like kind of gut reactions. I have been like totally ignoring readathons entirely since I've been slumpy.
oh yeah.
Ooh, The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, a classic. I have not read it, but I have heard many good things. I was thinking about doing this like read around the world challenge, and The Bell Jar was one of the first ones I was going to pick up, and then I just never ended up doing it. But I've heard good things.
And Michelle saying that Murtagh is one of her favorite books this month, but also The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. So I have not read the Graveyard Book. The only one I read is The Ocean at the End of the Lane, right? And I was very weirded out by the book, by the way it's written, right? And I don't think it's really that much for me. Um, the book itself. So I do want to try again Neil Gaiman, like something that they say is really different, right? But I don't know which one, so I should try because like then
Yeah.
it would be like my final kind of try before I tell myself this author is just not reading stories for me. You know.
I thought I was gonna try Neil Gaiman again, and then we've gotten some like weird allegations recently that I can't speak on the truth of about Neil Gaiman. So that paired with I tried American Gods and it was just too strange for me personally. So like those two things paired together, I'm like, but I liked Good Omens so much that it was really a bummer that I didn't like the rest of his stuff. But I do like other Terry Pratchett novels, so I think that's probably why.
Yeah, I think Good Omens for me would still be different because it's the two authors, right? So it's not just Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
So I would not consider it. I haven't read the book, but I've seen the first season of the show and loved it. I do have to read the book, but like
Yeah. Yeah. No,
too many books.
I mean it's a very truthful adaptation too. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I do like graphic novels for sure. So someone in the chat just said that
Yes.
she loves the Sandman series by Neil Gaiman, which I have heard good things about. I tried reading one a couple like the first one a couple years ago, and I just like hadn't really read very many graphic novels, so I felt kind of overwhelmed by the experience, but it's
Yeah.
something I would consider.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Maybe I should try with a graphic novel like this. I've heard a lot of good things about the Sandman. And graphic novels, they I do read some of them. I read a lot less, I would say nowadays, of graphic novels, but yeah, maybe that's a good way to try again.
Yeah, absolutely. How do we feel about doing another sprint? If anyone has a preference on length of sprint, you can throw that in the chat for us. Otherwise, I kind of liked the 30 minutes. I don't know if you prefer longer or shorter, Clementine, but
I prefer longer, but that's okay with 30 minutes. It's mostly that I don't know why I start reading very slowly and it's at the end of a 30 minutes. I don't know if anybody else is like me, but at the end of 30 minutes, I realize that I'm finally into it and I pick up the pace. Um, oh, did we lose? I think we might have lost Angela. So we'll give her some time to get back in. Um,
hello. I don't know what happened. My internet just went down. Is
that's what we figured.
like
So we
internet
give you a minute,
weird?
right?
No, yeah. The internet has been weird in the city the last couple of days. Like at my work today, the internet just went down for a couple of hours and like we couldn't access anything. But yeah, I'm not sure what's up with my internet. I'm connected. Oh, you know what? I figured it out. I know. I'm on the wrong network. network will be a better network for me to be on, and then it will be fine. I got a new computer recently, and I'm not on. Okay, I'm back, and I should be like really good to go now. Probably, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
On my end, you got cut off in the middle of a sentence, and then you were like, "I'm back." So, but also you're
It
not
doesn't.
blurry. You were
Oh,
blurry,
okay.
and
I
then
was blurry
you're not.
before. I didn't
Yeah,
know I was
a little
blurry
bit
before.
when you came back. After you came back, at least for me. But
Okay, gotcha. Well, next time if I turn out to be blurry, let me know because it's probably because I'm on the wrong network. Yeah, cool. Well, then we said I know everyone was kind of agreeing with you that the longer sprints are better for them. At least
Mhm.
is that what that's probably what the Me Too and the same
Yeah.
are for. So why don't we? Do we want to make it 40, 45 instead of the 30?
I think 40 is okay. That way, it's not too long. Also for you and for some others who might prefer like a kind of shorter.
Sure. And I mean, we are all free to, like if we need to step away for a minute or do anything like that, we can totally do that too. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and hopefully. Oh, I'm so sorry. When I disappeared, we lost the timer. So I'm just gonna add it back here, and then we should
That's
be good to go.
okay. And yes, I think after the break, after our break, after our reading sprint, we can talk about our plans for next month and what we want to read.
Yeah,
Uh, so.
sounds great. All right, see you guys in 40 minutes. Welcome back.
Welcome back. I
So,
was 1 minute away from finishing my chapter, so.
oh no. Well, I just a moment ago finished crocheting the second cord that I needed to make. So go me. Now I just need to weave in the ends and finish up the bag, and then we'll be good. Um, I made it through. I hit 10% on the book, which is exciting.
Mhm.
I'm in the middle of chapter 2. The chapters are kind of lengthy.
Oh,
But yeah,
wow.
I'm liking. Yeah, I'm liking it a lot.
That's good.
Michelle, that makes me laugh. So Michelle's cat had jumped when the timer ended and when the cat meowed. Yeah, Atlas is hiding. Oh, you can kind of see him. Atlas is over here, and he's just been like hanging.
Uh-huh.
He's been moving around a lot. But,
That's
yeah.
fun.
How's it going, Clementine? Do you like it?
I like it. It's very interesting because the Fae that this is a Quicksilver, by the way, for some if you've not seen before, and you've just joined us for Sprints. So like the Fae that are portrayed in this book have had this like blood curse that made them like some kind of vampires at some point. So they don't like crave blood anymore, but they used to with this curse, and they still have their fangs essentially. So it's kind of a strange kind of a mix of the two in some ways. So.
Yeah.
Ooh, Ellie has two cats hiding somewhere sleeping. Yeah, cancer. Cats that know to sleep, cause chaos, or eat, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Um, I the book is just the book I'm reading, A Taste of Golden Iron, is very political right now, which is
Uh-huh.
great and fine. Um, I don't think I understand all of the politics yet. Like I don't understand like
Yeah.
who's doing what or like why we care about anything. Um, but we've met both of the main characters and they're cute, so
Uh-huh.
it'll be a cute story, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the same for me. There was a little bit of politics, and I was like, okay, I think they're brother and sister, those two characters. And then I was like, I'm hoping they don't draw it out. And they didn't draw it out. But it's kind of a funny too, because we have the main character who obviously is from another world, so she doesn't know any of it. So at least, it's one way that, we're thrown inside, but they still don't explain stuff, which is kind of funny in some ways.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of warts thrown around too.
So we do have and everyone who's watching, if you want to share any progress you made with your books, you can feel free.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll highlight them when they come through. But so what I was thinking when we were reading Clementine is you've already looked at the prompts. You kind of already have an idea of what you might read. I have never seen them, and I opened them and I looked at the first one, and then I didn't
Yes.
look past that, so I don't know the rest of them.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe you could give like your top thing of what you might read, and I can give my gut reaction of like what I would recommend.
Yes.
And then
Yeah,
people
we
can.
can do that. So this for context, so this is for the Magical Readathon, hosted by created by Book Roast, by G at Book Roast. So we are in the autumn equinox, and I think this is my third year doing it, and I'm still doing the same career because I think with 4 years you're like a master. So and this is
Lost
the
track of it. I think last year I was really following.
yeah.
I was doing a good job, and then
Uh-huh.
I lost it,
So
unfortunately.
I have so I'm doing the Moon Warden because I think in the spring it's like 4 prompts, so 4 books, and in the autumn it's like 6. Yeah, 6. So it's not like too big for me to like consider, managing it every single time, I think. Um so I think the first thing I need to do is the elemental studies, I think.
So you didn't make a plan for all of them. You're just focusing on the
No,
ones.
I'm just focusing on the ones I have to fill because there was no way. I mean, half of them are very, very like narrow.
Mhm.
And I know my mood ring self. It's already hard for me to get that. So I'm like, So
Yeah.
there's a elemental studies. So this is the gust of longing. This is the one that drove me up a wall. This
Mhm.
is your favorite scent in the title or in the cover or in the
Oh,
author name.
wow. Well, what is your favorite scent? I guess that's where we need to start. Kind of
Honeysuckle.
random. Wow. Interesting. What did you say yours was?
Honeysuckle.
Oh, I feel like honey would be enough.
Yeah,
Is
so that's what I went
that why
for.
you're
Because
reading
that
honey
there's
books?
no way. Also, if I wanted to focus on books that I've actually have with me, physically, which I do really want to. So I
Yeah.
chose the Honey Witch, which also is like filled with a lot of flowers. And I can sort of, trick myself into thinking maybe the ones in the back kind of look like honeysuckle also. But like
Yeah.
otherwise, I don't see how I would. I even looked online on Goodreads, and I think there's like maybe one or two books that have honeysuckle in the title. Um, which I'm not really that interested in reading, right? And also that makes me read a special edition book, which is this is from Fairy Loot, which is so pretty, right? So
Yeah, I think that you're adhering to the like to the spirit of the prompt, which
yeah,
I think is the important part.
exactly.
Yeah, I think that's great. So what's the next? Well, okay, so mine would be just kind of general floral. I like a
Mhm.
lot and like kind of fresh, clean scents. So I would either go with something that's just like air because I really do like fresh, clean things. I don't love other things, or I would go with like rose or something.
Yeah, and literally, if I'd said Rose, I have like I think at least a dozen books, right?
Yeah.
Just from the back of there, right? Oh, Books
Ooh,
to
here's a
Ashes,
creative one. Um, so Books to
Rain.
Ashes says I chose rain for my favorite scent. That's a great one. I feel like Yankee Candle and like other candle companies have really like,
Mhm.
influenced us a little bit. I love any candle that's labeled rain. And also just like the smell kind of before
Mhm.
rain happens is also really nice.
Yeah. And
Cool.
yes, Deli, the Honey Witch cover is very, very beautiful for
Yeah.
sure. I'm really happy. So I feel like it feels like the prompt also because like honeysuckle is like this very like viney kind of flower. So it does feel like the cover is very like overwhelming with bucks too. So
I
I
think that
think
makes
that
sense.
works.
What's your next prompt that you
So
were
the
for?
next one was spells and incantations.
Mm-hmm.
So I also just need the ordinary. So I just need to fulfill the first one, which is just
Five-star
Dancing with Stars, and it's a 5-star prediction. Which I mean that one is fairly easy. I think the one that I have put for this one is one that I've been like I've been saying that I should read it for like months, and I should do it. It's the book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark
prediction.
Lawrence because I think I will really, really love it. But otherwise, I mean, if I don't get to it, I know that I will get to the sequel of The House in the Cerulean Sea by
That
T.J.
would
Klune, Somewhere
certainly.
Beyond the Sea. And that one, I mean, I think it's kind of cheating because it's the sequel to a favorite
I
book.
think that's exactly what most five-star predictions are, though. Like, I think that totally makes sense as a
I
five-star.
think that works too. So if I don't get to this one because it's really big, then I would get something else.
Yeah,
But I think 5-star prediction is kind of easy to fill, right? You
I
always
mean,
have.
you would think so. I hardly ever give 5 stars to anything, so I
Oh,
find
okay.
five-star predictions to be really challenging because I'm like, nothing's a 5-star. Where are they? They are nowhere. And then
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh well, maybe one of them will be a 5-star, but my 5 stars really tend to surprise me. I don't go into books thinking they're going to be 5 stars very often.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which one would you put down
Oh,
for
I don't
you?
even know. Um, I and rereads aren't allowed probably because rereads I can say are a 5-star prediction easy because I
Mm,
know them. I'd probably go with like a tried and true author. So like if my problem is that I read all of my like 5-star predictions right away. Like
mhm.
if there's an author who I routinely rate really well. So like if Lindsay Sands comes out with a book, I read it right away, and then like there goes my 5-star prediction. It's already used, right? And that goes with a lot of the authors I follow. So it's a
Well,
challenge.
actually, for me, I have actually a lot of them. I don't know for other people, but I think we're completely different in that regard. Is that 5-star predictions for me? I keep them. I hoard them. Like they're gonna disappear, and then I get really stressed, and I slack on them, and then I get weirdly um scared that they're not going to be 5 stars. I think I'm pretty good. I'm not that bad at giving 5 stars. I think I do give like a lot of 5 stars when I like
That's
it.
good. That's good. I'm glad that you like stuff. Liking stuff is awesome. I wish that I like loved
also more. Most of the time when I have a 5-star prediction, it's usually 4 or 5 stars. I'm very rarely like surprised on the other end, of the spectrum when I really, really dislike it. So I think I'm pretty okay with the books I like. But also in 5-star prediction, I will never put like a book that's a different, genre than,
Oh yeah.
that's like very out of comfort zone.
It's the opposite of outside of your comfort zone, right? Like
Yes.
5-star predictions are like sure bets.
Yeah.
We should probably celebrate some of our accomplishments before we go to your next one. So Deli made it through a few more chapters.
Yay.
Not my usual type of read, but good, which is awesome. Michelle finished 2 more short stories. Woo! Go, Michelle.
Yay.
And then Scorpio Rising read 30 pages and heated up dinner.
That's productive.
Yes. A+. Do we want to do a couple more prompts?
Yeah, if you want. So after that, there's astronomy. For that one, I need to get a cue, so I need to do the 2 first prompts. The first one is a book released in my birth month, which happens to be August. And in August, there was a book that I pre-ordered that came out from T. Kingfisher, The Sorceress Comes to Call, which I'm really excited to read. Also, it is on Everend, so I can also just read, partially in audio. So it's a good one.
Yeah, that's probably would have been my recommendation for you also. Yeah, I haven't read it yet. I have an early release copy that I just never ended up reading. But I will get to it soon, I think, because I also really love T. Kingfisher. Does it also have a castle on the cover? I haven't looked at the cover very closely.
No, you need to read 2 books.
I know.
Right?
Yes, I understand. I was just thinking like,
I haven't seen a castle on the cover. There's doors underneath the dust jacket, but there's no castle. It's just trees, right? With the moon.
So which book was going to be your castle book?
The castle on the cover, I have so many, right? I think currently the one that I'm currently excited about is City of Bones by Martha Wells. Right? But that's one that I'm okay with, switching out like the 5-star prediction if I don't get to it or if it's too big, because there's like a lot of fantasy in there. So if I need something a little bit more light or something like that. And after that, I have 2 more prompts. So like the restoration kind of deal. Yes. So there's the night sky on the cover for the first one. So that one is easy to fill, and I want to continue in the Becky Chambers sci-fi series.
Oh, nice.
Those and Common Orbits. This is the UK cover because I like them better. But I think the US
covers are so much better than the American covers.
Yeah, I think the US covers still have a sky on the cover though, so it works out. And the last one in the restoration is the one also that gave me a lot of grief. So with this one, we can take a little bit of time to think about it, because
maybe like holly berries or something.
Poisonous plants on the cover or title. So
yeah. Like aren't holly berries poisonous? I think they're poisonous, so that would be an option.
Yeah, so there's also, I was thinking of like poppies. So I did have one cover that might be poppies, but I'm not 100% sure. So I think I settled on Magic Study I don't have it physically
I
right
just reread it.
by Maria V. Snyder
Yeah.
because I do want to continue to see if I like it. And the first book that I read, it did have, like the cover that I had some poisonous plants on it.
Yeah.
And
The
I mean,
poison
it's
study
literally
definitely
about
does.
a poisoner, right? So I think it still kind of fits. But I was literally so sad because I just finished this month the Hemlock Queen. The
Would have been so
yeah, I
perfect.
know. Also, so if anybody hasn't read that series, I mean the Foxglove King is the first book, and then the Hemlock Queen. So in that series, all of them actually work out for this. Oh yeah.
Is that all that you needed to fulfill, or are those all of the prompts?
Yes, that is all I needed. I need 6 prompts, so 6 books. So I think like the two there's two that are really difficult, and after that the others I can always kind of switch out. So at
Yeah.
least that's fine.
Yeah,
Uh,
especially like the night sky is pretty chill. And the
yeah,
castle one, like you mentioned.
yeah, yeah. And the 5-star prediction is fine. Also, like the first one with a favorite scent, I did stretch it a bit, but also the Honey Witch is a buddy read, so I will read it. I will
Yeah.
have to read it, whatever happens anyway. So that one I know I will fulfill. So I just have to force a little bit myself to read like the magic study, kind of one. But that one I have through audio, so I think I'll get through it pretty quickly. Also, it was not a difficult read, the first one when I read it, so I think it's fine.
No, I think you'll be just fine. And I think the honey thing totally counts. I don't even think it's a stretch. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Do we want to do one more round of sprints?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, cool. Did you like the 40 minutes? Do we want to do longer, shorter? People
I
in
mean,
the
I'm fine with 40
chat.
minutes, but were you okay with the 40 minutes?
Yeah, I think the 40 minutes was fine. I wasn't getting too squeamish. So it was a okay. I'm gonna have to disappear for a second. I need
Sure.
this is the bag that I'll be sewing up, and I need the light pink color so that when I sew it
Mhm.
down it doesn't show through as red. So I'm gonna need to scurry to grab
Sure.
that. Okay, cool. I will put on our 40 minutes. Atlas chill out. I love you, my love. Do you want to come up and say hi? Come here.
Who was shy before, for people?
Yeah, he's been being shy.
There is Atlas.
He is. Okay, thank you, sweetheart. There we go. Alrighty. And we'll see all of you in 40 minutes.
Yes. Oh, Angela, you're not showing the timer.
Oh no, thank you. I set it up and everything. I hit start, but I just didn't put it up. So thank you.
That's okay.
Oh, that was a big sigh.
No, it's not. It's okay. I'm having fun, but like it's a little bit on the nose. But the banter is fun. It's fun. It is fun. It's just a little bit on the nose, but that's okay. That's okay. How much have you read? Let's start with you.
Oh, fabulous question. I definitely made progress for sure. I hit 16%, which
Okay.
isn't bad. I'm on chapter 3, which it feels like the
Uh-huh.
chapters are really dragging for me. They're taking a while.
Aw.
But it's not in a super bad way. It's just that the
Yeah.
chapters are very long, and I'm used to reading ones with slightly shorter chapters, so it feels like you're like really making progress.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. I am not a super big fan of the main character right now. He's making
Ooh.
some choices that I don't
Okay.
absolutely love. Um, like I just kind of want him to pull himself together, and I know that's what the whole story is going to be, is him like learning how to pull himself together. But I would like him to do it now instead
Uh-huh.
of 100 pages from now.
I see. Well, I think Scorpio is already gone, but you're welcome for his prince.
Yes.
So I did read another 25 pages, so I'm at like 30%. As I said, I'm having fun. I've been like giggling at some of the banter that's like funny. There's a lot of, innuendos and like sexual connotations for sure. Right now at this point. But I think also what I'm really enjoying right now is the magic. It's really interesting, like because like they say that that Ceres is an alchemist, and that's how she was able to travel and to
Mhm.
open portals. They're made up of quicksilver, so essentially she could like transmute metals, and this quicksilver can like when it's in this liquid form, it's kind of transient, and you can like use it to travel to other realms.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of an interesting interesting take. So I'm sure I fly through it in no time because like the writing also is very easy to get through. So that's fine.
Good. Yeah, I feel like mine's gonna take me a little while.
Hmm.
I've been trying to decide if after we log off, if I'm going to continue reading this one and like put through it, or if I'm gonna go back to my time travel book and just like kind of continue working on that one. So I haven't decided, but I do think I'm gonna read this one. I'm not gonna DNF it. So woo,
Ooh,
success. The pick was a
nice.
good one,
I
Clementine.
mean, they were saying that this is a kind of book that's very political and very kind of slower paced too. So I was also thinking because I also have it to read, right?
Mhm.
That it's definitely not the kind of book that you can read like very quickly, maybe, too. So yeah, I would vote for you to like just flip flop between, so you don't like, so you don't feel like you're not going, to that you're not getting through it, or that you're getting frustrated and like DNF just because it's a little bit long. I'm a little bit sad that there's very long chapters. I also have a problem with long chapters, but
Yeah, yeah, I'm not loving the long chapters. I We'll see. If I hit like the 30% mark and I'm still feeling that it's like super duper slow, then like my tone about it might change. But I do think I'm going to ultimately like the book, which is the important part. Right now, I see myself sticking it out. I don't think it's one I'm going to be reading like super late at night, because it's not one that I want to accidentally like fall asleep listening to and then
yeah,
try to find my place in the next morning. That is not
no.
not the vibe.
Yeah, also, I think with the long chapters, it'll be even harder to figure it out, right?
Yes, very very true. Because the you're right. I didn't even think about that, but you're totally right. I I put in one of my drawstrings. Woo.
Yay!
So it
Nice. Nice.
it does this, which is what it's supposed to do. And now I realized I sewed the other side. I realized
Oh.
I didn't weave in any of my ends as I went.
Oh. Okay.
I was like, why did I not do this as I went? So now I'm weaving in ends.
That's bad. So, and anybody online, how much did you read?
People
Or
have been
did
kind
you?
of popping in and out. I think it's getting to be a little bit late for
Yeah,
most,
it
which is
is.
to be fair.
It might have been our last print, I think.
I'm feeling a little bit tired. I think I could stick it out for one more short one if we really wanted to. I don't know that I could do another 40 minutes without nodding off a little bit.
Yeah, we can see if there's still some online. If they're still okay, if we could do like a short sprint. Otherwise, we cap it up now.
Yeah.
Woo! Michelle is over 20% of her book. Nice.
Woo!
That's
Nice
nice.
job, Michelle. Michelle, how are you feeling? You want to read some more, or are you feeling like it's bedtime? We'll let Michelle make the decision. Poetry,
Oh,
though. Oh no, Michelle. You must obtain the book from the cat.
yes.
Get it back. Yeah. Michelle has been a very dedicated watcher, listener today. A
Yes.
plus, Michelle. How did you like your first reading sprints?
Yes, Michelle. How did you like them?
Oh, goodness gracious. Tomorrow is Friday.
Yes,
I'm
it
actually not
is.
really looking forward to Friday.
Mm.
So that's funny, Michelle. I'm not looking forward to Friday because my schedule gets busier again. And all of the classes that I've planned so far have been 45-minute classes. So I've taught like a second grade class that was 45 minutes and then a fifth grade class that was 45 minutes. Like everything's been
Yeah.
45 minutes. And now I'm supposed to teach the same content to kids in the other classes that are in the same grade. But now I have an hour and 5 minutes instead of 45 minutes tomorrow morning, which is just so painfully long when you've got like second graders and third graders and fourth graders. So I am not super looking forward to it. My plan, I'm a librarian for context. So my plan is to just kind of give them free reading time
Mm.
after we do the content that we're supposed to do and
Mm-hmm.
then just kind of write it out. But I don't know, the schedule, man. I don't love it.
Yeah. Fridays for me are fine because I'm working from home on Fridays usually. So unless I mean for now I can work from home, I should add. After we'll have when we have some seminars, I am in charge of seminars, so I will be there, but like,
Yeah.
I will certainly at least be able to work from home if I want, the afternoon on Friday afternoons for sure. After the seminar's done. But like, we'll see how it works.
Atlas.
I've
Atlas
certainly
is fun.
been.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're okay.
He just tried to climb up on the pillow and then he fell on the pillow.
Mm,
And I laughed at him. But you can't see it because the taste of golden iron is blocking him
yeah.
from the screen. I'm feeling like we might be at the end of the sprints. I'm
Yes.
also wondering
Hmm.
if we should take the last couple of minutes to chat about when we would like to sprint again.
Oh yeah. I think I don't know about you. I'm okay with doing it every week.
Mm-hmm.
I think also we could have like a mystery kind of book being pulled. I think next week it could be me because I don't have books wrapped up, but I do have an origami star where I put all the physical book that I have, so
Yeah.
I could like pull one of them
Do you have
out.
space in your month with the magical readathon and everything to pull?
No, I don't.
Then let's not pull a random book for you, man. Don't make yourself do something you're not ready
I
for.
know.
Here. But I will say, I'd give it like a 75% over under chance that I'll be done
Yes.
with A Taste of Iron and of Golden Iron. So if I'm done with it, or if I finish
Yeah.
it during the sprints,
Yeah.
we could pull again. I don't want you to put something else on your TBR if you can't fit it on your TBR, man. Don't set yourself up for failure.
Well, we can do something too. I mean, we
Yeah.
can have, me pick the book if I manage to fit it as like a 5-star prediction, Castle on the cover or Night Sky or something, I read it. Otherwise, I don't. If I,
That's true.
it's the extra kind of thing in there. We could
Yeah, and we
have
can
it.
totally do that if you want. Absolutely. So cool. We're thinking next Thursday, and yeah, like this.
Yay.
Alrighty. If anyone's watching this back later, thanks for hanging out. Michelle, thanks for being here.
Yes.
Love you. You're the best. Michelle says, I'm going to add random books to both of your shelves, which is really funny. Michelle, if you ever want to, when we're wrapping up next time for more books for me, maybe you and Clementine can work together on it.
Yeah.
We'll include you in the fun.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.